Crossword puzzles occupy a strange and enduring place in everyday life. They are neither purely entertainment nor purely education. They do not measure intelligence, yet they feel intellectual. They do not demand speed, yet they reward persistence. Their design reveals why. Before crossword puzzles, most structured mental challenges were linear. You followed a sequence. You answered questions in order. Progress was measured by completion rather than connection. This linearity reflected how information was usually presented, chapter by chapter, problem by problem. The crossword puzzle introduced a different model. Instead of a line, it offered a grid. Instead of a path, it offered a field. Words crossed each other, sharing letters. Progress in one area depended on insight in another. The problem it addressed was not lack of knowledge. It was lack of interconnected thinking. The grid enforces relationship. No answer stands alone. Each word supports and constrains others. A guess in one place creates consequences elsewhere. This design mirrors how thinking actually works. Ideas are rarely isolated. They overlap, reinforce, and correct each other. The crossword externalizes that process. The black squares are as important as the white ones. They break the grid into manageable segments. They prevent sprawl. They create pauses. Without them, the puzzle would be overwhelming. Constraint is what makes exploration possible. Clues add another layer of design restraint. They are deliberately indirect, rarely literal, often playful. They require interpretation, not recall. A definition alone would be too easy. A riddle alone would be too opaque. The clue sits between. This balance allows multiple entry points. You can start anywhere. Easy answers build momentum. Hard ones wait patiently. This waiting is important. Crossword puzzles normalize not knowing. Blank spaces are visible and acceptable. You don't fail for leaving them. You're encouraged to circle back later. This creates a low-pressure environment for thinking. The realization often comes midway through a puzzle. A word you couldn't solve suddenly becomes obvious, not because the clue changed, but because the surrounding context did. Letters appear, possibilities narrow. Insight emerges from accumulation rather than force. That moment feels earned. This is the aha moment. The crossword is not testing memory. It is teaching patience with partial understanding. The physical format reinforces this lesson. Pencil erases, ink commits, newspapers fold, books sit open on tables. The puzzle occupies space and time without urgency. Digital versions replicate the grid, not the speed. Even with timers and hints, the core experience remains. Slow engagement, visible progress, reversible mistakes. This is invisible design shaping cognition. The crossword puzzle does not push you forward. It holds you in place just long enough for insight to form. It rewards attention over speed, connection over completion. In a world optimized for immediate answers, the crossword insists that some understanding arrives only after circling, reconsidering, and waiting. That insistence is why its form has endured. Any attempt to streamline it, to remove ambiguity, to guide order, to prevent wrong guesses, would undermine its purpose. The crossword works because it respects how minds actually move, not in straight lines, but in crossings. And because it does this quietly, one square at a time, it remains one of the most humane thinking tools ever designed.